It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L-A-R.
They usually say football is a game of inches. It turns out that not only is baseball a game of inches, but it's a game of less than an inch. So shout out to inches, man. They're always there for you. They count up. There's 12 of them that go in a foot. Yeah, that's the intro, man. So fellas,
Okay.
how are we doing?
Well, I'm back from vacation, so I'm doing all right. I wish I was still in Santa Barbara where it wasn't, 700% humidity and ridiculously hot. But yeah, I'm good. I met my nephew, who I guess is 3 weeks old now. So that was good. Teo seems like he's going to be a beast in some sport, I'm sure. He has big hands. Maybe he'll be a basketball player. But yeah, I had a fun time watching All-Star Week. I'll tell you that much. So I'd say it was one of the more entertaining All-Star Weeks we've had in a long time. So yeah, and on Saturday, I'm going to the David Wright number retirement ceremony. David Wright's my childhood hero. So that was one of those things where I had to be there. I didn't purchase a ticket when it was first announced because the tickets were ridiculously expensive. But yes, my dad and I will be going, and I'm looking forward to that. And hey, maybe he's passing the torch to Francisco Lindor this weekend.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm doing good. I mean, Cal Raleigh won the Derby. He was just hitting a whole lot of dingers. Yeah. All of the dingers. It was absolutely amazing. I am still reeling from it. Cal Raleigh is the best player in baseball. So it was an amazing time. The first catcher to win the Derby. The first Mariners since Ken Griffey Jr. to win the Derby. And, as you said there, Splash, a game of inches. They say, an inch is a really long distance, man. Like, an inch is, you can never take it for granted.
I think there's an innuendo there that
there's definitely an innuendo.
Not going to continue.
Being very coy about it.
Yes. So shout out to baseball.
Shout out to baseball.
Yeah, shout out to baseball, man.
I agree.
Yeah,
great sport we have.
For me, the highlight of the week was the Hank Aaron tribute.
Yeah,
that
was a great tribute. Yes.
If you didn't get a chance, it's on Fox MLB, Fox. It's on their Twitters, on their Facebook.
It's all over the MLB socials.
Yeah, just
go and watch that. I've watched it twice.
It's great.
It's so
good. 2 minutes. I promise you, it's worth your time.
It is.
Rob Manfred, you can still lick my anus for moving the All-Star Game out of Atlanta in 2021. That's the only thing. So
I appreciate that they did the tribute on July 15th.
That is true. That is true.
It was really, really nice. Like I said, that was. Normally, I'm gonna be completely honest. Normally, I skip through commercial breaks and stuff, but I made sure to stick around for that. And I'm glad I did.
Also, Matt Olson has now worn 44 in both derbies he's been in.
That's right. He wore 44 in the 2021 Derby. Yes.
Yes.
I forgot he was in the 2021 Derby for a second.
Yeah. I remember at our previous employer for all three of us. When the Braves traded for Olson, I was thinking, well, he can't wear 44. I wonder what number he's going to wear. Because the only picture I had of Olsen in my head was for him at the Derby. But regardless, shout out to Cal Raleigh winning the Home Run Derby. Shout out to Kyle Schwarber winning the All-Star Game MVP by going 0 for 2.
0 for 2 with the walk. That gets you MVP these days,
I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah. So, fellas, I'm going to start at the end. Bottom of the ninth. The National League makes their final out. It's a tie game. Are we going to extra innings? No, every pitcher's been used. Every position player's been used. We go to a home run derby style swing off. Mac, give me 3 words describing what you think of the swing off.
All right. Coming up with 3 words is tough.
I got mine if you want me to.
Yeah,
Right.
yes,
Go ahead,
Alex, you go first.
All right, mine's for this. The new norm. I loved it. I thought that this was such a fun way and you've got to, like, I don't think this is completely ready for, MLB usage in the regular season or anything like that. But
please no.
But hear me out for a sec on this. Like, I think for at least a fun event like this, where it is entirely for the fans and it's just for fun, no one wants to sit through an 11-inning ball game, a 12-inning ball game, 14 innings, especially when you have no more pitchers left. The entire point of the All-Star game is just kind of get all the good players in for a little bit. Let them have their moment to shine. I think that this was absolutely incredible. I would love to see it more, but I'm going to I'm not going to say take it a step further too much. I think that there's a very real chance that within the next 5 years, this will at least be tried out in spring training games. Like, just to see what the reaction would be, because I agree, I don't like games that have stakes to be decided in a way that's not just a baseball game, right? But I also can't help but see how much fun it would be here, right? And also how many different kind of jobs this could open up for teams to be able to have a designated swing-off man that is, his entire job is hit BP tanks. Like, I think that could be interesting. It could be a level of strategy. I'm not saying that it should happen even in the near future, right? Definitely not at all, but I could see it happening. And I think the All-Star game here was an excellent show that this is real, that this can be very real. Also, Kyle Schwarber legitimately has that dog in him. That was one of the most impressive feats of, I want to say clutch batting, but I don't know if that's even the right term for it at this point. Just biggest I'm him moments I think I've ever seen. Like, he just stepped up. He knows that his entire job is hit nukes. And what did he do? Hit nukes. 3 for 3, did not miss a beat, and all of them were no doubters.
All right, so I came up with my 3 words, which is entertaining for fans. That's the thing, is that us as fans, we see it, and I'll say this much: game ends quicker. It's a lot more entertaining than sitting through, watching your teams trade missed opportunities with the runner on second base. But I say this also, I mean, as some of you guys know, I worked in the Pioneer League for 2 years. I watched plenty of knockout rounds. And unfortunately, the tough part is that it's fun for the fans. It's not necessarily so fun for the coaches or the players. I watched plenty of these knockout rounds where guys struggle to get it out of the infield, and the knockout rounds never ended. And you just keep rotating. That being said, I like the way that they did it for the All-Star game, which is, you pick your 3 players, you each get 3 swings. That way you already have your 3 players set to go. And they, you take all the time you want. You can hit your 3 swings. I'm not saying that it's necessarily should be like an everyday thing, because then after a while, yes, people are going to get tired of it. But it was really fun to watch yesterday. And, I think it's good for events like the All-Star game. I wouldn't say we should do it. I mean, look, in even the Pioneer League, they would get rid of it for the playoffs. So, like, obviously you wouldn't do it in the playoffs, but I mean, maybe this is going to be something where you can have the option to do it instead of extra innings.
Okay, here I apologize. I want to hear your take on this too, but I just thought of this idea. I want to hear what you guys think on this. So, because right now we've already seen that the MLB is open to ideas of doing them in the regular season, then taking them out for the playoffs. We have that with the runner on second, right? So here's my pitch for this. We have the knockout round, but it is only from the 13th inning on. Here, if you make it to the 13th inning, here, that is, you've now had 1.5 games essentially worth of baseball to try and decide a winner, and you were not able to do so. At that point, pitchers are tired, players are tired. Get away, so then you're not going to have a 20-inning game. And how often do you get to the 14th, 15th inning anyway? in a lot of these games. Very, very rarely. So this is a way that you can save pitchers, still have fun, and you can have a climactic ending here. And I'm not going to say that one game doesn't matter, because that's definitely not true. Take a look at the Mariners for the last checks notes 15 years. But I think that at least would be an interesting idea to go through here, because you'd see it. Let's say baseball season itself is like 2,000 games, I think, between all the teams
24-30.
24-30, thank you. You're going to have this happen maybe 10, 20 times across all of Major League Baseball in a season?
That's probably overdoing it anyways.
Maybe that's a high estimate.
Especially with the Manfred man, it may be once a season.
Honestly, I'd be open to starting it earlier, like maybe the 11th or 12th.
Top of the 13th makes sense to me.
So actually, then let me Let me change it then a little bit here. Let's change it to after the 12th inning, because then you have your 9 innings and then 3 extra. So
that's fair. Yeah,
because usually that's at least one more time through the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys be open to that starting in say like 2027?
Yeah.
I have my
issues
with doing that for the regular season. I am resistant to some changes like that, but I get what you're going for, and I wouldn't be shocked if that is a rule that comes about in the future. We've seen like shootouts in NHL games, shootouts in soccer games that need a winner at least. Of course, they love a good draw.
Baseball.
So I get it, and I wish it was. I wonder if there was if you could combine like the way Banana Ball ends, that it's not regular baseball, like 9 fielders. Maybe it's, maybe a team has a designated pitcher. Like maybe it's their closer. Maybe their closer can, instead of it being, say, Pete Alonso and the Mets BP thrower, it's Pete Alonso versus your opponent's pitcher, right? Maybe it's, Raisel Iglesias versus Pete Alonso, right? Or Edwin Diaz versus Shohei Ohtani. I don't know. I think that seems more palatable than watching basically batting practice. But yeah, I'd be opposed to it generally. But I have 3 sets of 3 words very quickly. Number 1, video game material. This would be a great extra inning alternative. For baseball video games. MLB The Show, MLB Power Pros 2026 when that inevitably comes out. Other baseball video games that don't really exist, but we can dream. Number 2, Dave Roberts fumble. Just put Matt Olson in the 3, man. Schwarber, great pick. Alonso wasn't in the game at the time, but he's Pete Alonso. Fair enough. Just put a Brave there. Sorry, it's in Atlanta.
I mean, he could have done worse. He could have put in Jazz Chisholm.
That would have been Jazz wasn't even an all-star.
I know he's on the.
Yeah, he was.
I know.
He was.
Like, hey, get it as a special.
Yeah,
pick.
he got made the second out of the 9th inning.
Yeah, exactly.
He hit
okay.
I think.
Okay,
I did not realize. My apologies, Jazz. I didn't realize you were an all-star. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. And number 3, bring it back. And what I mean by bring it back, you know how exciting that was? That every swing mattered. It wasn't just pepper.
Yeah.
Remember when the Derby was like that? The whole Derby.
God,
when
I miss it.
It was like paced, and you could build momentum. You could take a pitch. You could center yourself. I go back to the Josh Hamilton example, but it's even more than that. There are iconic moments from pacing. There's a reason movies are popular. There's a reason TV shows with multiple seasons are popular. I know TikTok is great, and Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, and Facebook videos. I get it. There's a time and a place for that. Baseball, outside of the pitch clock, because the pitch clock was a great idea. Baseball is meant for the moment. And when you put a clock on a moment, it makes it worse. So baseball, you saw the swing off. It was fabulous. There were stakes. You could breathe. You could have expectations. It wasn't 2 minutes and it's over. It was an event. It was something you were on the edge of your seat or standing. You were excited to watch. It felt like it mattered. It did matter. And Kyle Schwarber stood up to the moment. Imagine if he had 30 seconds. And he's just swing.
I think he would get tired after 20.
Yeah, he would have hit several home runs, I'm sure, because he's Kyle freaking Schwarber. But there's a pacing to these things. And Home Run Derby needs to return to an outs format or a swings format. Swings might be better because in the rare case of the Josh Hamilton round, that was in theory 38 swings, right? Okay, maybe it's 25 swings or 20 swings or whatever. I think those numbers are a little low, but whatever. I think baseball needs to, in a world with the pitch clock, that's fine for the regular season. I think the Home Run Derby, it's for the fans. Make it an event. If it goes 4 hours, it goes 4 hours. If it goes 4 hours, that means people are hitting home runs. Like, it's not like it's out, right? Or there's a bunch of swing offs, which those are inherently more exciting. So baseball, figure it out.
One thing I want to say that kind of piggybacking with what you're saying here is that this All-Star week, right, I think is the perfect example of why we need to go back to that Derby format, because go back to watching the Derby, right? When you're watching it, yes, the timing bit was fun. Yeah, you're watching people hit homer after homer. You know what the most tense part of it was, and the most exciting part of the Derby was? Everyone's swings, like during their swing bonus rounds. Those were fun because you never knew how many homers they were going to get. And it's like you were watching people just breathing heavily the entire time. You were watching these guys hit mammoth homers here. And then you get to the swing off. What's that?
Unless you're Matt Olson.
Or Jazz Chisholm. Or by 1 inch, Brett Rooker. But to be fair, no disrespect to Brett Rooker. He put together a fantastic effort. And if you hit 470, you're special.
471.
But anyway, back to it. The swing off itself, look at how tense. The emotion, the drama of it was beautiful. You used to have that every single year in the Derby. This was a perfect little showcase of why we should go back to it. You saw the timing bit of it just get very, like, for lack of a better word, get mucked up a little bit here. Go back to just having the outs or the swings. I'm okay even with outs instead of swings, because at that point, then still you can have legendary rounds. You can see someone crank 50 homers out if they're that good at it. Here, it's not going to happen all the time, because why would it? But at the very least, you get to showcase these guys here, because the Derby is not just a game. It is a showcase. Here are some of the best power hitters we have in baseball. Let's show them doing the thing they do absolutely best, and that is take a baseball and make it no longer a baseball, as it is obliterated off of a wood bat. Just let us have that.
Yeah, I mean, look, in the NBA, they have, the slam dunk contest, the 3-point contest, which admittedly, those events kind of were lackluster the last couple of years. But, I mean, it's the one event, Mac McClung, a G leaguer, he shows out for the dunk contest. And, like, that's the main attraction there. The 3-point contest, I remember when the Splash Bros used to compete against each other in the 3-point contest. Like, for Major League Baseball, this is our version of those events. We should try to make it as great as possible. And yeah, I always think back to that 2008 Derby with Josh Hamilton at the old Yankee Stadium, the last one at the old Yankee Stadium. And yeah, that's like, there's a reason why when people talk about like the old days of MLB All-Star Week, that's the first thing that most people, at least in our age range, will think of. I mean, it's, there was no Josh Hamilton rushing through it to try to see how many home runs he could hit in 2 minutes or something. But he was taking his time and hitting the ball as far as possible. And yes, he did tire out and lose to Justin Morneau in the final, but that's like a classic example of why the Derby used to be so great. And don't get me wrong, I still had fun watching it on Monday night, but I do agree that they should try to flip back to the old format at some point.
Yeah, so I'll draw one more comparison, then we can move on. So O'Neal Cruz had a 513-foot home run. You wouldn't know that if you're just watching the broadcast, like just watching him hit home runs.
It was impossible to follow
because there was no pause, there's no beat, there's no nothing. There's just move on, right? At least in a regular game, right? If you hit a home run, there's a trot around the bases, there's like a camera pan, there's a highlight that you can show. But in this, it's just bang, 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 bang. It's like that's not like an iconic Derby moment. What's the clip of it's from afterwards, or okay, but it's not that you forgot about it, but it's just I think the pace was off. That's my point. The iconic Derby moments you can replay like immediately, right? It's when Griffey hit one off the warehouse. That is an iconic swing, and it was an iconic swing immediately. Josh Hamilton's round, immediately iconic. Bobby Abreu had the record before Hamilton. I wasn't around for that, but that was the standard. Every year you're watching ESPN, and it's the Bobby Abreu round, the Bobby Abreu round, the Bobby Abreu round, then it's the Josh Hamilton round, the Josh Hamilton round, and you have these great stories, right, that we can tell on a podcast 17 years later after Josh Hamilton and 30 years after Griffey, and it's I don't know. That's my issue. The pace is off. So another all-star game, 3-word only. Mac, we will begin with you here. The automated balls and strike system. The challenge system was there. We saw a couple players got rung up. Tarek Skubal used it to get his first punch out of the night.
He didn't use it. It was Cal Raleigh.
He tapped his head.
Raleigh was the first one to do it.
Okay.
Cal tapped it.
Okay, whatever.
Don't take away more from Cal.
I didn't see that. I saw Skubal tapping his head. I also saw him drop an F-bomb when Ketel Marte ripped him.
That was the greatest thing.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, very normal.
Hilarious. Mac, your 3 words on the challenge system.
Yeah, my 3 words takes 5 seconds. I see no issue with this. If I'm being honest, I want it in the majors like as soon as possible. It'd solve a lot of issues, I think. And yes, you only get 2 challenges, but hey, if you get them right, I mean, you keep them. And like I said, it's not like those tedious instant replays where they have to, call to New York, zoom in on every angle. Nope, you just have the rectangle. You can tell within 5 seconds if it's a ball or a strike. Boom, it's done. So yeah, good for the game in my opinion.
Alex?
Yeah, my 3 words are doesn't waste time. Like the biggest argument against it people have is that, you going to add on more time, which is what the game's been against doing for a while. No, it adds a grand total of about 5 seconds, like Mac was saying here, and that's for 1. And you get it a grand at the very most, like 6 times per game, right? And at that point, it's like, okay, then why'd you do it with the pitch clock here? Like, well, think about it. The pitch clock happens 200 plus times in a game. This is 6. You're not adding on any significant amount of time here. I do have one gripe. I have one gripe with the ABS system, and it's something that can be very easily fixed. This is something that people don't even honestly realize. The strike zone is not a 2-dimensional object. I hate when it is shown as being a 2-dimensional object. It is a cube. It is a cube that goes from the top to the bottom throughout the entire length of the plate and the width of the plate. That is the strike zone. If the ball touches that cube, it is a strike. Like any amount of touch, it is a strike here. So at that point, stop showing it as just a bit. Like if it catches the top bit of the zone at the tail end of that fastball or that 2-seamer, and it just catches the end of that cube, you bet I'm bringing them up. Like you take advantage of that one. So if you're going to do the ABS, go all the way with it here and make sure that you're actually looking at the strike zone as opposed to a drawing of one.
Not to be pedantic, but wouldn't it be a pentagonal prism because home plate is a pentagon?
You still have the full length of the plate itself, based as if it were a square, but because you still count the full width of it.
Okay,
Pentagonal
so
is a big word, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, way to make me try to do multi-syllable words when it is 90 degrees outside.
Fair enough. So you're saying like so like the triangle section of the plate at the back, if a ball went over the dirt that is not a part of the plate,
it would still be a strike.
Huh. Okay. The more you know.
Yep.
I still think it would be a rectangular prism, then not a cube, but that's okay.
I mean, that's fair.
That's just me being pedantic. Okay.
So my multiple words. Giganormous.
Yes. All right. So my 3 words: high leverage moments. Like I mentioned with the Derby, this is something that will elevate individual moments. So 8th inning, 2 outs, multiple guys on, if memory serves, 3-2 count. That's the pitch that's getting challenged. It's pitches that matter that are getting challenged. It's not the first pitch of the game, unless it's egregious. It's not like a 1-1 pitch in the third with no one on. It's pitches that matter, and it's getting those right. It's when the NFL reviews all scoring plays and all turnovers, those are the plays that matter. It's not that they're reviewing every 1st and 10 play. Did he gain an extra yard? What's the difference between a 2nd and 8 and a 2nd and 7 in the middle of the second quarter? Not much. But when it's a high leverage spot and you need to get it right, this is something that elevates that particular moment. And I think it's a great thing to come to MLB. I think it's something, a batter skill potentially, or pitcher skill, or probably a catcher and batter skill, I would say, more so than a pitcher skill. I'm curious, is someone like Juan Soto going to convert it like 70%? Is that like worth an extra $1 million on his contract or something like that? Or is someone like Michael Harris going to be totally buns at it? Right. So I think it's just another piece of strategy. And that, like you said, Alex, it's going to happen no more than 10 times in a game. Like if you had everyone getting it right, okay, you know what? Max 10 times. But it's going to be in the big moments. And I think it's good to pause on those big moments and have sports like capture the moment, as opposed to a baseball game was played, right? That's a baseball game is being played, but there are important moments. There's an ebb and flow. There's a story being told in each individual game. And I think this enhances the story. It enhances the plot. It's not pointless. I dig it. And our final topic with the All-Star weekend, Alex, we will start with you. Simple. Give me your 3 words on the home run derby.
I'm just relishing in the moment for a moment. Like I feel like I can
So,
definitely do
Mac,
this.
can I just kick Alex so we can finish up the rest of the podcast?
No, you can't do that.
Darn.
But my 3 words are Cal friggin' Raleigh! Cal won the Derby, and oh my gosh, there was not a happier man in Seattle than me. Oh, I was so ecstatic about watching the Derby, watching Cal put on one hell of a performance. The man was killing it, and to add even more to it, he was also a sentimental favorite for some people because the man that was throwing to him was his father, Todd Raleigh. The man catching behind him was T. Raleigh, his younger brother. And the 3 of them as a team won that Derby. Like Cal was even saying the MVP of that was T. Here, being like, he was the one who kept him focused and kept him going during the Derby and all that. So, and one of the coolest bits afterwards, the Baseball Hall of Fame tweeted that they had got a ball and had all 3 of them sign it, and that ball is getting put into the Hall of Fame, which I'm like, that's awesome, right? We love the stories of, guys like, Robinson Cano that had his dad pitching to him.
Bryce Harper throwing his dad throwing him cutters.
Exactly. We love hearing those stories. And you know what? This was a great example of that one more time. I think that overall, the guy that has the most home runs winning the Derby, it just helps validate just a little bit more here, but at the same time, like, it's a fun event. Cal getting into it in his first time and winning it. It was so much fun. Can I do a mini 3 words here just for one last bit of it? It's not about Cal. My mini 3 words are don't like Jazz. Why was Jazz in the Derby? I mean, that was such a...
I was lost too.
I'm going to be... I don't want to be mean to the guy because the dude's a good baseball player, but dude had no right being in that Derby.
This was my Mookie Betts argument, and I've said it on the last 2 shows. With all due respect to one Marcus Lynn Betts, he's not the archetype of a player I want to see in the Derby. Brent Rooker, perfect. Cal Raleigh, perfect. Matt Olson, perfect. Junior Caminero, honestly, double perfect because he's 21. O'Neal Cruz, triple
he
perfect.
Just turned 22, yeah.
Right, and Buxton, perfect, right? Those are like
power hitters.
Power-oriented players. And Jazz just felt too. Like you want a Yankee in it, maybe. Maybe a bunch of people said no. Maybe
it does sound like a lot of people did say no. I know PCA and Ellie De La Cruz said no. Otani said no. Judge said no. Like Alonso said no. I mean, it's
like that sucks that people are saying no to it. And that's another issue with the dunk contest, 3-point contest, that you often don't get the best players. And I know part of it is you throw off the rhythm, and some of them, sometimes your best power hitters aren't, all stars. This was the Yoenis Cespedes of it all. Back in the day when he won the Derby without being an all-star.
I was at that Derby. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, there you go.
Yoenis Cespedes was such a baller.
So, I'll go with my 3 words. I like the format. I like when it's 1 through 8. I don't like when it's the 1 versus 8 and 2 versus 7 and 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. So I think that makes a lot of sense. It's not really... I don't think it was fair the years it was like Alonso versus Julio in the first round when they would have the 2 highest scores, or was it Alonso versus Guerrero in Cleveland?
That was a final.
Okay,
I think Alonso faced.
Oh, it was Guerrero versus Jock, right?
Was Guerrero Jock the first round matchup?
They had like 70 home runs combined. It was
an insane round. Yeah,
he had like 2 swing offs. So yeah. I like it when it's 1 through 8. It's 3-point style, I would say. That's good. And my mini 3 words, big dumper summer. We are, okay, backtrack for a moment. I said before the Super Bowl, if Saquon Barkley won Super Bowl MVP, it would have been the greatest season any offensive skill position player ever had. If Cal Raleigh can finish the job and win American League MVP, now, granted, that is honestly not a Cal thing. That is a Aaron Judge thing. So if Judge is Judge, I'm sorry, Cal. This could be like Cal breaks a home run record. Cal wins the MVP. Cal wins the Derby. That could be arguably the best season a catcher's ever had. Now, will the Mariners finish a game out of the playoffs? Probably, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah. So I'll just say my 3 words. Just came up that ball don't lie. It's true. Everyone complains about that, less than an inch that Cal got in over Brent Rooker for the semis. He kind of made that stand up. He only got better as the Derby went on, as the time crunch got shorter. He actually hit more home runs with less time, which is really impressive. A lot of long home runs too. I know that those were also 2 competitive rounds, first facing O'Neal Cruz and then facing Junior Caminero, who admittedly I thought was going to win. But that was just an awesome show, and especially to do it with Todd throwing it to him. And that's the thing, is that Todd kept hitting his spots and Cal was not missing them. And with T behind the plate, that was awesome. Really, I had so much fun watching it. And I'm glad that, because not every time does the guy leading the majors in home runs actually win the Derby. We saw it last year with Gunnar Henderson. He had, I believe, the fewest homers in the first round, and he was batting last in the order because he had the most homers. So he made that total stand up. He proved why he's leading the majors in home runs. So that was really awesome. And I hope we get to watch Cal do this at least more than once, because would love to see him try to defend his title.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's the, built to be a every time Derby champion, like Pete Alonso.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like that's Alonso's title. I will never again. You asked me who are some of the greatest Derby participants of all time. Guys like Ken Griffey Jr. come up, Josh Hamilton for his round, and Pete Alonso for what was it, a three-peat for him?
Just a repeat, actually. It was 2019 and 2021. 2022. That's the thing is that 2022 and 2023 he had a matchup with Julio, which was like it felt like the two best competitors facing each other. And then it was. I remember those two Julio rounds were insane. And then last year he kind of just did it to do it. He wasn't really expecting anything, but Alonso 2021 was dominant. I remember 2019 was also super exciting against Guerrero.
Absolutely fantastic.
All right, fellas, that'll wrap us up for All-Star Weekend. Congratulations, Cal. Congratulations to the National League. And we will proceed to some more congratulations. We have our mid-season awards picks, and we're going to go ahead and start in the American League with the most valuable player. I got the odds pulled up. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment. If you are listening to us on the podcast, the Apples and Spotify's of the world, share us with your friend, share us with a mailman, share us with someone you have a Snapchat streak with, if you're still on Snapchat, or a TikTok streak with. I know those are apparently a thing.
Are those a thing?
Those are a thing.
I don't do the TikTok thing, all right?
Yeah, I have like 10 followers on TikTok, so shout out to
I'll share with my doorman downstairs, or one of the many doormen we have in my building.
Perfect.
I shared the podcast today with the guy that helped me get my new phone activated. So
absolutely. So love to hear it.
I
got the odds pulled up.
Appreciate you.
We have the odds pulled up here on Bovada. Aaron Judge is the runaway favorite, minus 700, followed by Cal Raleigh, and then Tarek Skubal with an interesting quintet here. Bobby Witt, Ceddanne Rafaela, Jeremy Pena, Jose Ramirez, and Riley Green at 10,000 or plus 10,000. So, fellas, I'll go first here. Aaron Judge is the MVP, with all due respect to Cal. Worthy finalist, similar last year with Bobby Witt, similar in 22 when Judge won it over Ohtani. Similar, I guess, in 23 when Ohtani won it over Seager. Similar in 23 when Ronald won it over Betts. Sometimes you have an MVP level season and it's not the best season in your league, and that is unfortunately what's happening here with Judge and Cal. And you can post the Baseball Reference graphic, and Cal leads in homers and leads in steals and leads in RBI, and Judge leads in everything else. And Judge is just having arguably the greatest offensive season we've seen. Like, he's that good, and it's just sort of levels to this thing. And we're going to have a Cal conversation that's very similar to the conversation I had with Bobby Witt, that he's 9-word catcher season. Those don't grow on trees, or a 10-win shortstop season. Those don't grow on trees. And unfortunately for Witt last year and Cal this year, 11 WAR seasons by Aaron Judge. This would be his third, and that's like a list with Willie Mays, basically Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds. That's probably it.
Yeah, and so here's my thing is that for the longest time, or for a while, it felt like we were having this conversation like, oh, the Yankees would still be pretty good if they didn't have Aaron Judge. And the Mariners maybe wouldn't be as good if they didn't have Cal Raleigh. But now we look at it, the Yankees offense without Judge would kind of be a disaster, if I'm being completely honest. Jazz Chisholm has been really good since coming off the IL, but this is not a lineup that would scare me if Aaron Judge was not in it. So the tough part, and I personally, if I had a vote, I would kind of lean Cal because he's a catcher. That's the thing, is that he's having an elite offensive season while playing a very physically demanding position, probably the most physically demanding position on the diamond. But I don't see a way for him to win this award unless Judge gets injured or something like that. Judge, I mean, he is a 219 WRC plus. His F4 is 7.4 already. This dude's literally a video game character. So as much as I want to say Cal is the MVP, Judge is probably going to be a runaway train here.
So I get to say my piece now? I like how you brought this up.
Depends.
It's for as soon as I got it, but you brought up the stat head page. So, by the way, you're muted, Splash.
Yeah, I couldn't bring it up while I was talking because it would be click, 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 click.
Yeah, very fair. All right. So here's my argument. I'm going Cal. To the surprise of a grand total of 0 people. But here's my reasoning. You take a look at their seasons, and yeah, Judge has the best of them. He has the hits. He has the batting average. He has the OPS plus. Here, he has the OPS. He has all of that. Cal Raleigh is at least comparable while playing the hardest and most important position on a baseball diamond. A position that is involved in every single pitch. Not just, when it's hit to him, or not just, whenever like the ball's hit around him. No, he is involved in every pitch. He is calling these games. Aaron Judge is out there in the outfield, and don't get me wrong, he's playing great outfield, and outfielders are important. I'm not saying they're not. What I am saying is that being a catcher is one step below being the manager to a lot of teams, especially when you are as great of a catcher as Cal Raleigh. Dan does not call the games. You know who calls the pitches? You know who calls the everything for the pitchers? I'll give you one hint. His nickname is Big Dumper. Like, Cal has done something that is so impressive to me. He has had so far right now the best power season by a catcher ever, and we are still in July here. And on top of it, he's still playing elite level defense here. Is calling these every single game, it feels. He's not behind the dish. He's still usually talking with Dan when he's DHing. He is making all of it work. He is one of the smartest players in the game, baseball smart players in the game. He's the first one in, last one to leave, all that stuff. Right. What you see with Cal right now is that he controls the game. He works with all of the pitchers to make sure that that he can use them to the best of their abilities here. And to prove I'm not just saying like, okay, whatever, go and watch Cal Raleigh when he walks past when he walks with some of the other pitchers or past some of the pitchers going all the way to the bullpen. Watch as he has a different handshake with every single one of them. He has built a relationship with each and every one of those pitchers out of trust, out of ability, and they trust that he is going to put them in the right position here. He has done that time and time and time again. And as much as, WAR is a great stat here, as much as WAR is a very, very good, sabermetric stat, it doesn't attribute for what goes into being a catcher. It just doesn't here. And as much as it's fun to say, okay, yeah, it's just a good benchmark. It is. I won't say that's wrong. But you take a look at 4.8 at this point in the season here. That is so unbelievably low for what Cal has honestly meant as a player to the Seattle Mariners. Like, I'm trying to imagine right now if it's wins above replacement, right? So his replacement right now, let's just say, is Mitch Garver, right? And don't get me wrong, Garver has been doing all right this season. He started to pick things back up. The Mariners have more than 5 wins, if Cal Raleigh is the catcher over Garver on the everyday. There is a lot more that goes into it, and as much as I like WAR, it does not attribute to what we need here. Cal is doing something that we have never seen, too. We talk about that with Judge, that he's doing things we've never seen. I agree, 100%. But Cal is doing similar things from a position that never does this. He's the MVP.
So we had this conversation the last time we brought this up. I think the being a catcher part should be a positive, and it's reflected in the WAR total. And I think maybe it's a little bit of a different conversation if Cal was playing a platinum glove level defense this year. I don't think he has been. He is not the top catcher by any defensive metric. By fielding run value on StatCast, he is tied for 9th among all catchers behind Hedges, Moreno, Wells, Dingler, Torrens, Narvaez, Bailey, and Alejandro Kirk is nearly quadrupling him in a couple games worth of fewer innings. And I think we are underestimating the gap here, right? There's a 38-point gap in OPS plus. There's a 183-point gap in OPS. There's a 99-point gap in slugging, and there's an 86-point gap in on-base percentage. Cal is in the top 10 in on base. He's number 2 in slug. He's number 2 in OPS. He's number 2 in OPS plus. Judge is not only number 1 in all of those. He's even winning the batting title if you care about batting average. But it's nearly like lapping the field here. There's a 100-point slugging difference. If you dropped Cal another 100 points, that's a good hitter. A 535 slug is a good hitter. A 820-ish OPS guy, that's a good hitter. A 155-ish OPS plus guy, that's a good hitter. But that's not an MVP guy. Cal's hitting at an MVP level. Judge is clearing that and clearing it with authority. And we can mention the intangibles. We had the leadership conversation the last time we did the Cal versus Judge thing, and that's fair. I think the being a catcher thing, the Mariners pitching staff has underperformed this year. Is that on Cal at all? If we're going to hype him up as being like this pitcher whisperer, then the Mariners have a below average pitching staff. Like that's just the fact of the matter. It's been below average by run prevention this year. And if we're going to give him credit when the Mariners have a great staff, fair enough. But I think it's not fair to just pass it off or just ignore it if the Mariners have a below average staff, and they have had a below average staff this year. So credit to him. He's been spectacular offensively. I've said here on this podcast, it is the best offensive season a catcher's ever had, or at least on pace to do so. He's on pace for darn near 70 home runs and like 150 RBI. That is awesome. Unfortunately, he's on pace to finish second in MVP voting.
Yeah, that's the tough part is that, we've yet to see someone show what you have to do to beat Judge in an MVP race, because he got 28 of the 30 MVP first place votes in 2022. He got all 30 last year. Now we have to figure out, like we were trying to do with Ohtani at one point, and we can move to the National League in a second, but Judge proved what the standard is to beat Ohtani, which is to do something truly historic. Now we have to figure out what the heck does someone have to do to beat Judge, because right now, like I said, I would, if I had to vote, I would vote for Cal, but right now I see no way for him to win. It's just, we're witnessing one of the greatest right-handed hitters we'll ever see.
It'd be awfully ironic this year if Judge won the Gold Glove and Cal didn't, because Judge currently leads.
Judge has been great this year in right field. He
leads National League right fielders in fielding run value. American League. American League outfielder. American League right fielders in fielding run value. He's a little bit ahead of, even among all outfielders, like regardless of position, he's among the league leaders in that. And Cal, again, plus fielder, just Alejandro Kirk and company. Narvaez has been terrific. This is not taking anything away from Cal. He's still been a plus defensive player, but he's second, or in this case, third, with Narvaez up there as well. I will give Cal credit here. The games played as a catcher is ludicrous.
He doesn't take days off. He's taking
if there's
one day
anything,
off.
You get the WAR bonus for that. I'll happily give you a WAR bonus for playing every single game as a catcher.
So rare, yeah.
Yeah, this dude
he stinks as a DH for some reason. So, regardless, let's move over to the National League, folks. Bovada says it's Shohei Ohtani minus 1,200. With PCA, it's plus 700. Juan Soto plus 1,600. Then the group at plus 5,000 of Fernando Tatis, Kyle Tucker, Ronald Acuna. Plus 6,000 got Lindor, Freeman, Wood, Marte, Alonso. Is Shohei Ohtani going to win his fourth MVP? Become only the second player ever to secure number 4.
right now, I mean, I can't. Again, it's another case of now that he's pitching, I don't know how he doesn't win MVP. And I think here's the thing: is I want to give some honorable mentions. I mean, Pete Crow Armstrong has been excellent. Juan Soto has been the best hitter in the National League since the calendar flipped to June. And also, we talk about how great Cal Raleigh has been. Will Smith in the National League is a 171 WRC plus and is the only qualified batter with an average over 300 in the National League. But right now, I mean, Ohtani is just – it feels like every time he comes to the plate, he's going to hit a home run. He has 32 homers. Heck, we thought he'd cut back on stealing. He has cut back on stealing, but he still has a 12%. He still has 12 steals. His strikeout rate is almost 25%, but he's walking 14% of the time. Add that on top of the fact that now he's starting to increase his workload on the mound. I see there's almost no way for him to lose this award, I think. Unless he gets hurt again. This is his award to lose. And, honestly, if he keeps pitching and hitting at an elite level, I don't know when the next time we're going to see someone not named Ohtani win the award.
Here's the thing, right? Like, it goes back to what I've been saying for the last few years here. The name of the award needs to be changed because under the name of the award, Ohtani should win it every single year. And that is, it's the most valuable player. Ohtani adds the most value by being an elite hitter and an elite pitcher. He is two things in one here in one roster slot. He doesn't even have to do them exclusively. On days where he pitches, he still hits. On days where he hits, he can pitch. Although, again, he's part of rotation. Ohtani is the most valuable player. Now, if we're talking about the best overall player, that's a different story here. If we're talking about the player that is having the best statistical season overall, then you have an open conversation here. Got to free to bring in guys such as PCA, Juan Soto, Tatis, all the guys here on screen. And that's kind of the problem here. All of these guys are dang good. Ohtani is just more valuable. He is more valuable to a franchise based on what he is able to do. At this point right now, until they change the name of the award, Ohtani wins it hands down because of what those three words mean.
Counter. Ohtani's so 9 innings this year.
I know.
I'm aware, yes.
That's what I'm saying here, is that it goes back to the bit of how much is he pitching? It does come. I will give you on that here. Because even last year, we couldn't use the argument of that because he wasn't pitching. But he still won the MVP because he had one of the greatest hitting seasons of all time. Here, when you have, let's see here, 1 billion homers and 1 billion stolen bases, come on.
Okay. So, do we think Ohtani would have beaten 2023 Ronald and Mookie?
With just last year's?
Yes. 2024 Ohtani versus 2023 Ronald and Mookie.
Okay, I think he would have beaten Mookie. I don't think he would have beaten Ronald because Ronald's hitting stats beyond the homers and steals were superior.
Okay.
While he played, he played the field too.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't know on that one. I feel like it would be really close, though.
So, I think I would have picked Ronald over Ohtani, but I think Ohtani wins most years just as a hitter because I think it's the best DH season we've ever seen. Like, with all due respect to David Ortiz, Edgar Martinez, I think it's the best DH season we've ever seen. Rate stats say that, counting stats say that, 50-50. So my pick right now is PCA. Like, if I was voting today, Ohtani by the end of the season, there's a reason he's a huge favorite. I have my wonders if the Dodgers are going to truly stretch him out and he's going to throw actual starts, have 5-6 inning starts down the stretch. If that happens, then, fair enough. He has a 1 ERA right now, 1 earned run in 9 innings. Fair enough. My only reason Ohtani wouldn't win it, barring injury, is if the Dodgers don't fully stretch him out and they just have this opening gimmick that he throws a couple innings, or maybe he starts like a 5 or 6 inning, starts having 5 or 6 inning starts in August, mid-August. If you're doing that, then I think that's when PCA gets involved. Juan Soto had a scorching hot June. I don't think he can be discounted, especially if he's keeping the Mets in the NL East race and at the top of the National League standings. I think James Wood has had a terrific season. The Nationals have been cellar dwellers, so he doesn't really get the support there. Tatis has had a solid enough season. Ketel Marte, when he's on the field, he's been spectacular. He just hasn't played enough. Same with Ronald. But I would vote PCA right now. We talk about the value. How about having a center fielder that's the best defensive player in baseball? That's pretty valuable. And we talk about the upside with Ohtani being both a DH and a pitcher. He is locked in at DH. He restricts the Dodgers' ability to make moves around. You can't give Freddie a day off. You can't give him a half day at DH. You can't give Mookie a half day at DH. You can't give Will Smith. Either Will Smith is in the lineup or Will Smith is not in the lineup. There's no DH days for Will Smith. You can't rotate through catchers. You have to put Dalton Rushing in the field if you want to play Dalton Rushing, or you have to bench Will Smith. You can't give Max Muncy a day off when he's healthy. And that restricts some of the movement. Now, granted, you gain most of that, if not all of that value and then some by having him pitch, but he's pitching 1 inning at a time, 2 innings at a time right now. So I do think there's more nuance than just, he hits and pitches. Well, yes, but he only DHs, so you restrict the rest of the lineup. And right now, he's not a usual starting pitcher. You're basically burning a reliever in the first few innings. Like his starts this season have been, again, 9 innings and 5 starts. So yeah, fair enough. He's back on the mound. There's great value in that, but it's been 1 inning, 2 innings, 2 innings, 3 innings. He's thrown 140 pitches in 5 outings. Eventually that's going to get built up, and that's great. He's at 4 straight scoreless outings. But I do wonder how much the Dodgers are going to have him pitch down the stretch.
I was going to say, I wonder how many innings they'll be comfortable with him pitching, coming off of his second major elbow injury.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of counter a little bit here on the idea of that even like the 1 inning is still really strong. Like, don't get me wrong. I 100% think that he is more valuable as a starter. 100%.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna disagree with that at all. When you are playing in that, it's like in that position here where you are going 1, maybe just 2 innings here, you now basically are leaving the manager to only need to work through 7 innings or 8 innings here without burning a reliever spot, because Ohtani stays in the game as the DH here. So you're not even losing a player. That's where my thing comes in, where it's still very valuable, because you're essentially getting 2 innings for free. Like, yes, you're still having to pitch, and yes, he's still having to perform. Absolutely. But you're not burning a slot like the opener does. The opener burns a slot because now that reliever can't come in and hit. Well, they can, but be a bad idea.
Hey, man, respect Ryan Nelson and his 1,000 batting average this season.
Absolutely. I will respect Ryan Nelson.
Of course.
But at that same point, like, you're not having to worry about, all right, I'm losing one of my relievers early here, or I am using all that, because he's still in the game.
That's
You're
fair.
not like, he's not pitching anymore, yes, but now the rest of the players that you already have to pitch are now able to pitch. And now Ohtani, who, spoiler alert, is a really good hitter, can still continue to hit.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I think the innings, like, yes, it's valuable to eat up innings. I do think the calculus changes because you're using Ohtani in the first inning. So he's chewing up, say right now, the max he's done is 3 innings. He's chewing up 33% of your available innings, as opposed to if you used him as an actual reliever and he was throwing like the 7th, 8th, 9th, or if you put him in the 7th inning, he's also chewing up 33% of the innings, but that's just the 7th. If that makes sense from I don't know how my brain is trying to wrap around this. Like a closer that pitches just the 9th inning is pitching 100% of the remaining innings of the game, while the middle reliever who comes in the 6th inning and throws 1 inning is pitching 1 of the 4 remaining innings. So that's only 25% of your innings getting eaten. So you're Ohtani and you throw 3 innings, it's 33% of your innings, but it's the first 3 innings, and in a lot of ways, the least important 3 innings. The lowest leverage, not the least important, the lowest leverage innings. Because there's so much game the rest of the way that you could you have to bring in your reliever in the 4th inning, another reliever in the 4th inning, and that starts your reliever wheel. And we've talked about bullpen games before that all you need is 1 bad apple, and it's a 6-run inning. So, rapid fire, Cy Youngs and Rookie of the Years. Skubal's the favorite. Any issues there?
Nope. He's my leader.
Okay, Wheeler's the favorite in the National League with Skeens right behind him. Both minus money. I don't think that's actually allowed, as the thunder is roaring in the background.
I'm going Skeens.
Okay.
I'm going with Skeens too.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. The Wins. If you're an old-timey voter, you're not going to like the Wins, but I don't care. Rookie of the Year, Jacob Wilson is holding off Cam Smith as the slight favorite.
I'll be honest. I'm starting to lean Nick Kurtz a little bit, but I think Wilson probably still has a slight edge right now.
Yeah, I think if you're voting on it now, Wilson's probably the pick, but Cam Smith is heated up, and Kurtz has been tremendous for the Athletics. And the National League Rookie of the Year.
I didn't get to say what I was saying.
Oh, sorry, Alex.
Yeah, you're good. Here, I'm going to go also with Kurtz. I like what he's done.
Okay. So. And the National League All-Star Jacob Mizorowski has jumped Jake Baldwin. He's a heavy favorite. Obviously, he wouldn't win it. I think if it was voted on right now, I think it would still be Baldwin.
So, yeah, that's my
But
thing.
by the end of the season, this is the Ohtani thing. Just Baldwin's splitting reps at catcher, and Mizorowski, he has a spot in the rotation. He's absolutely filthy. So
yeah. So that was the thing is I wrote down 2 answers. Yeah, Baldwin right now is the leader, but by the end of the season, I don't know how anyone holds off Mizorowski. He's just filthy.
Fair.
I'm going to go with Baldwin because the Braves are going to trade away Murphy in order to let him be the starter.
At this point, maybe you trade Ozuna and you just have Murphy and Baldwin alternate, but that would also help Baldwin's case.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ozuna and Murphy both have benefits to being traded and negatives to being traded, which we might talk about next week if they don't get traded. But for this week, to wrap us up, Mac, it's trivia time.
Awesome. All right, so I didn't get to run this before the All-Star game because I was on vacation. We're running back named that one-time All-Star.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so the way this works, I have 9 guys here who only made one All-Star game, and you guys are going to buzz in. I have 3 clues written for let me reevaluate. Yeah, three clues written for each player, and you're gonna buzz in. It doesn't matter who it is; you can buzz in once you know who the guy is. If you get the answer wrong, if you buzz in first and you get the answer wrong, the other player will have a chance to steal the point. Any questions here?
To go.
All right. Let's get started. The first player made his only All-Star game appearance in 2023 for the Orioles. He started the game in center field. He was a 3rd-round pick. Yep. I heard Splash first.
Would that be Cedric Mullins?
It is not Cedric Mullins.
Oh, that's who I thought too.
Alex.
Anthony Santander?
It is not Anthony Santander. Splash, do you want another clue, actually?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a 3rd-round pick in 2016. He struggled badly enough in 2024 that he was dealt to the Phillies and eventually non-tendered. And he currently great. Splash, who's your answer?
Would this be Austin Hayes?
That is Austin Hayes. Yeah. You take the early lead there. All right, good stuff. All right, my next player made his only All-Star game appearance in 2019 with the Detroit Tigers. He began his career with the Yankees, was traded as part of a 3-team deal that sent Robbie Ray to Arizona and Didi Gregorius to the Yankees. He saved 30 games in 2018, and then at the 2019 trade deadline was traded to the Atlanta Braves. Looks like Splash has an answer again.
Would this be Shane Green?
It is Shane Green.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Shane Green had a 1.1 ERA in Detroit. His ERA was over 4 in Atlanta, but
Stop.
He was a
Stop.
decent closer.
Stop. Stop.
Even
Anyway,
when you get the point, I still feel like the winner.
Let's move on to the next one. This player made his only All-Star game appearance in 2016 for the Rays. He began his career as a starter. Later, though, in 2017, he led the majors with 47 saves. And he was traded to the Mariners in 2018 along with Denard Span. Those are your 3 clues. Let's see if anyone has an answer here.
Oh my gosh, I know who it is, but I'm trying to remember the name. Can you go through the clues one more time, just one at a time?
So he began his career as a starter, but in 2017, to be fair, he made the All-Star game as a reliever too in 2016, but in 2017, not an All-Star that year, but he led the majors with 47 saves.
Oh, Brandon League.
It is not Brandon League.
Much later. That's much later. I'm wrong.
He was traded to the Mariners along with Denard Span in 2018. It was like an early season trade too, I remember.
Along with Denard Span to the Mariners. I'm honestly stumped. Like, I'm very mad I can't figure this one out.
Splash.
Fernando Rodney.
It is not Fernando Rodney.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not Rodney.
It is actually no, he's not a successor.
No, it's not Delabar.
I'll give you guys each one more guess.
Can you give us one more hint?
Okay, let me come up with one more hint.
I was about to say, I'm honestly mad that I can't think of this because I
began his career as a starter, All-Star in 2016, was shipped with Denard Span to Seattle.
Yeah, to Seattle where
Correct.
You said he became a closer that had a bunch of saves?
Yeah, so he led the majors in 2017 with 47 saves. He saved 30 more in 2019 with Chicago, and he finished his career with 159 saves over 11 major league seasons. White Sox.
Okay.
This is I feel bad that I don't know this one off the top of my head. I should know this. 27. So he was a Mariner in 2017, you said?
2018.
2018. Okay.
And was the Span trade Nats and Mariners?
No, it was not. I said it was Rays.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Did not realize Denard Span was on the Rays for that long. Okay.
He was on the Mariners for 5 seconds.
Yeah, 2018, he was traded May of 2018, traded Denard Span in cash to the Seattle Mariners for Andrew Moore and Tommy Romero. November of 2018, traded 1-for-1 for Omar Narvaez.
Is this Danny Farquhar?
No, it's not Danny Farquhar. He never made an All-Star game.
I thought he made one. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, my only guess was Matt Moore, but he didn't pitch with Seattle.
All right. Well, the correct answer was Alex Colomé.
Oh my gosh.
If you wouldn't believe it, Alex Colomé was signed by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays as an international free agent in 2007.
Fair enough. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
All right, so no point there. Let's move
Alex
on.
Colomé.
I feel like this one might be easy. His only All-Star game appearance was in 2023 for the Nationals, drafted out of then Division II Lemoyne College in Syracuse by the Dodgers. And this is the clue that probably gives it away. He was traded with another player for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. He's currently recovering from Tommy John surgery, so he's not active right now.
So he went to the Dodgers, right?
No, he went to the Nats.
Went to the Nats. Okay. Oh, that hurts it then. So what you said he was an All-Star in 2023?
Correct.
Okay. And now he's a Nat.
Oh my goodness.
He's a Nat, but he's currently recovering from Tommy John surgery that he had to get last year.
You said this was the one supposed to give it away, and that did not help. Okay. But he made the All-Star as a Nat?
Yes, correct.
Okay. In 2023, Nationals All-Star. I'm trying to think back to like the MLB The Show like All-Star cards, because like that should help me, but it's not. Let's see here.
Is it Trevor Williams?
Trevor Williams was a Pirate, never a Dodger.
He was part of the Scherzer trade.
I'd say he's been the slightly more successful player in the Scherzer return. Yeah.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, I got nothing here.
Oh, Josiah Gray?
It is Josiah Gray. Alex is on the board.
Finally!
Good. Yes.
I forgot he existed. I'm sorry, Nationals fans.
Same!
I forgot he existed.
Can I tell you what like reminded me for it? Here I was thinking of like I remember that Daddy Dimmu TV raved about Josiah Gray. And I'm like, wait, didn't he come from the Dodgers? Yes, he did.
Josiah Gray, local guy for me, from New Rochelle. I hope he's back on the mound soon. But yes, that's correct. So Alex
said, Scherzer and Turner deal, I was thinking, the Padres, because that was
right,
for a minute.
Deal that almost happened.
So I'm like, well, Gore just made the All-Star game, and Wood just made the All-Star game, and Abrams made it last year. Who else was in that trade? It's like, he said Dodgers.
Let's move on. The next player made his only All-Star game in 2011 for the Atlanta Braves. Lefty specialist type of deal, I would say. Notably recovered from 3.5 Tommy John surgeries. And in 2018, he was named Comeback Player of the Year after he overcame all that. Yes, Splash.
Johnny Venters?
That is Johnny Venters. That is correct.
Yeah, you could have given me a billion guesses. I never would have got
that. Like 2011 Braves bullpen, Kimbrel, Venters,
and O'Flaherty.
Yes, EOF.
Oh God, Eric O'Flaherty.
That was like one ERAs for like 125 innings or something like that.
All right, next player. So Splash has a 3-1 lead. This player made his only All-Star game in 2014 for the then Oakland Athletics. He was a 4th-round pick by the Nationals in 2007. Was traded as part of the deal to send Gio Gonzalez to Washington after the 2011 offseason. And then he was part of the next Oakland fire sale after the 2014 season, trade to the Padres for Jesse Hahn and RJ Alvarez.
So you said he was traded to the Padres?
After the 2014 season, yes.
Got it. Okay. From Athletics to Padres.
Did he play in the big leagues as a national, or was he like a prospect?
No, he made his debut with Oakland.
Okay.
Is he still in the league?
Nope. He's been out of the league, I believe, since 2016. I can look the things up to confirm that.
Wait, no, that's not him.
I have a guy. I know played for the A's and Padres, but
I'll make a guess.
Alex.
Is that Will Myers?
It is not Will Myers.
Okay.
I'll fire off my guess then. Chris Denorfia?
Nope. But this guy was teammates with Myers, I'll tell you that much. He's been out of the league since 2017.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, I feel like he's an outfielder, right?
He is not an outfielder.
Oh, he's not an outfielder.
Okay. To help speed this up, he's a backstop. He initially was a backup, and then
is it Daniel Norris?
Oh, you're so close there with the name. You got 50% of his name right.
Bud Norris?
No, it's not Bud Norris either. You were so close, Splash.
Daniel. Wait, is it Norris?
Yes, Norris is his name, but what's his first name? It starts with a D also.
This is Derek Norris?
Dan Norris.
Derek Norris. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Splash. I'll give you.
Is Daniel Norris a real?
Daniel Norris is a real player. Yes, he's a pitcher.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's
is
move
Dan
on.
Norris a real player?
All right, this next guy I think might be the easiest one, actually, now that I look at it. This guy made his only All-Star game in 2019 for the Washington Nationals. He was the 6th overall pick out of Rice in 2011. Please splash.
Oh. I think I went too early.
All right, great.
2019 Nats, sixth overall pick. You said 2019 Nats, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Brain function. All I can think of is Victor Robles, but he wasn't an all-star. It wasn't a draft pick.
Is that your guess then?
Yeah.
All right. Alex, do you have a guess?
I mean, from the no hints that we have here, the 2019, is this Soto?
It is not Soto. He's made
multiple ones.
All right. Well, here's your next hint. He was a 2-time Silver Slugger and a 5-time MVP vote getter, including a third-place finish one year. Third-place finish in 2019, if you wouldn't believe it. All right, splash.
Is this Tony Wage Theft?
It is Anthony Rendon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, I apologize, Victor Robles.
I did not include the fact that he signed a massive contract with the Angels after the 2019 season and has barely played during it.
Really? Rendon only made one All-Star game?
I know. If you wouldn't believe it, I remember for the longest time we were like, how in the world is this dude not made an All-Star game?
Yeah.
He finally makes it, signs this massive contract, and then doesn't play.
Yeah, he was good in 14, good in 16, good in 17, good in 18, good in 19. Heck, he was even good in the COVID season.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, that's Anthony Rendon is the correct answer. Splash is starting to put a hurting on this one. This next player, we only have one more after this one. Made his only All-Star game appearance in 2004 for the Pirates, traded by the Cardinals to Pittsburgh in 2000 for Jason Christensen. And in 2004, he had 201 hits, led the National League with 12 triples, and won a Silver Slugger. And then during the 2009 season, Pittsburgh sent him to Seattle as part of their summer fire sale, where it feels like they traded everybody that year.
Oh my
God. Guesses here?
Sent to Seattle in 2009?
Yes. Yes.
Is this Jack Wilson?
It is Jack Wilson.
Wow.
Let's go.
Nice.
I did not realize he had a 200-hit season on the ledger.
Yep, 201 hits, 12 triples, no Gold Gloves in his career, but he won a Silver Slugger.
That's a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even getting robbed by Jeter.
True. Yeah, no, I think he got beat by Rollins, I think, one year. I don't even remember who else he got beat by, but yeah.
Adam Everett and Jack
Everett
Wilson
never won one either.
Yeah, they deserve to win all of the Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
Also, Chase Utley deserved to win all of the Gold Gloves. At least 5.
Yeah, anyways, we'll move on to the last player. He made his only All-Star game appearance in 2009 for the National League champion Phillies. He had 305 home runs across his career and had 3 stints with the Mariners. And his most legendary moment, though, in his career, yes.
Raul Ibanez.
It is Raul Ibanez. I was going to say the last hit. He had 2 legendary postseason home runs coming off the bench.
For the Yankees?
Game 3 of the 2012 ALDS. Yes, his most legendary moments came as a Yankee, if you wouldn't believe it.
Look, here's the thing. There's a better hint you could have given. It's about how many, he has a large amount of U's in his name.
Raul, yes. But anyways, Splash is this week's winner.
GG's.
Thank you for letting me run that.
Yes.
I honestly, I came up with some kind of difficult clues, so good job at deciphering some of those players. But anyway, back to you, Splash, to close this thing out.
Oh, we have breaking news. Von Miller to the Commanders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. So, fellas, welcome to the moment to ourselves. Would anyone like to go first? Alex, go ahead, sir.
All right, so give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Believe it or not, I'm not going to talk about Cal Raleigh. I know, shock and amazement here. I'm going to talk about something here that I'm glad I'm finally getting to be a part of a little bit here. For those of you that are in the know and know what Blazeball was here, and like an online baseball league type thing where it was all chaos and it was a lot of fun. I didn't get to be part of it because it went under before I could be part of it, and I have a very good friend of mine that was very big into it. Well, they have kind of a relaunch of it as something called the MMOLB for Massive Multiplayer Online League Baseball. And you can be part of it. It's free to play, and it is a lot of fun. You make a team of players that don't exist, obviously, right? This is all fake players and all that, but you also don't know how good they are. Here, you have little stat charts here that show how many stars they are in certain categories, but it's not like, batting contact or power. It is stats like selflessness, stats like stealth, stats like lift and muscle. And it's awesome because you have all of these amazing, you have no idea truly what you're building here unless you just want to build around certain different ideologies. But the game goes nuts as well, where players can get turned into machines. Here, legitimately, my first week of augment, so you get one augment per day. Here, one of my choices was making my second starting pitcher a robot. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of amazing, but I didn't do it. Missed opportunity, I know. But it is a lot of fun. There are a ton of games that happen every single day that are all automated. You don't get to make any choices within the game. You don't even get to make the lineup. All you do with it is you make the team, you manage the team. The team then goes and plays and does its own thing. Plus, there's a lot of very ludicrous things that can happen in a game. For one thing, the weather actually matters for it here. And I'm not talking about weather like foggy weather or sunny weather or snowing weather, which my first game was in the snow somehow. But the other games, there are games where the weather is a certain type of day. Here, the weather will be like a shipment day where the winner gets a rare item here that you can connect to your players to give them more stats. Here, it is honestly so much fun, and I recommend you all give this a try. It is free to play. Just go and have fun, and the community already is awesome. I've been talking with them a lot in Discord. It is a heck of a good time.
It sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I've neglected to talk to you guys about this. We can talk more about it later, but I think you guys would be interested.
Yeah, why not? Mac, would you like to go, or do you like me to go?
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I just want to use this time to talk about David Wright for a second. Basically, every young kid growing up in New York who's a Mets fan, or basically every young Mets fan around my age, wanted to be David Wright growing up. And this is the first time where I get to go to a number retirement ceremony for a guy that I idolized. I went to Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden and Keith Hernandez's ceremonies over the last few years, but I'm not old enough to have watched those guys play. This one is going to mean a lot to me. I mean, this is like every other young kid, I wanted to be David Wright. I wanted to play third base. And it's a shame that injuries robbed him of what was going to be a Hall of Fame career. I was not able to go to his last career game in 2018, but this was the one ceremony I knew I had to be at. There was no way for me to miss this. He was our captain, Captain America. So looking forward to being at the ballpark on Saturday. Hey, maybe this is where Lindor is officially named the captain. But I'm really looking forward to Saturday. And hats off to Captain America. Really, I miss watching him play.
Yeah, definitely one of the Hall of Missed Potential, Hall of Screw Injuries.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
spinal stenosis is bad, guys.
Yeah, Dustin Pedroia is on that. Is in that infield. Nomar Garciaparra. Yeah,
Tulo. There's.
Yeah, hate when injuries rob us of greatness.
I will say I definitely feel the sentiment of needing to go for a childhood hero. Me going to Griffey's number retirement and his Hall of Fame induction was like it. This is going to be kind of a weird word to use, but he was needed, to kind of like close the circle.
You know what else is needed? An LAR meetup in Cooperstown next year when Beltran and Andrew Jones go in.
Oh, please, man.
Please. Yeah, okay. Sure.
God, right. I need,
Yes. All right. Count me down, fellas.
Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Back again with the Josh Allen stuff. This is more Bills centric. Why does the media feel the need to just dunk on the rest of the Bills all the time? Everything is used to build up Josh Allen. And Josh Allen is a great player, right? He's, to me, one of the top 20 players in the NFL. I thought he was a deserving top 2 MVP finisher last year. I obviously don't think he deserved to win the MVP, but whatever. But I think it is very, very disrespectful, I'll say, when you have Lamar played with more Pro Bowlers and Lamar played with more All-Pros. When you say that, I don't think you watched football. Roquan Smith did not play at an All-Pro level last year. He made the All-Pro because his name is Roquan Smith. I don't know what to tell you. Zay Flowers, the entire month of December and the first part of January was, how did Zay Flowers make the Pro Bowl over Brian Thomas? And then not only did Zay not play in the playoffs, but you had that the debate the entire time that, Zay wasn't a real Pro Bowler. One of the All-Pro Bowlers was Patrick Ricard, who played like 250 snaps. You're telling me a fullback is more important, more valuable than, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes? He wasn't a Pro Bowler last year, wasn't an All-Pro last year. I think Bills fans and the media generally, they just need and desire to rip everything about the Bills to shreds to just lift up Allen. And to me, it is logically inconsistent. The entire Josh Allen narrative this offseason. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Well, what makes him better than Lamar? Oh, he beat him in the playoffs. Then why is Allen ahead of Mahomes? 0-4? Does that ring a bell, Bills fans? If playoff performance is the end-all be-all, fine. Allen's ahead of Lamar. That's fine. Mahomes is ahead of Allen. Burrow is ahead of Allen. Jalen Hurts is ahead of Allen. And you could probably argue Jaden Daniels is ahead of Allen. Allen didn't play particularly well in the Bills in the playoff games. He played well in the Broncos game. Didn't play particularly well against the Ravens. Didn't play particularly well against the Bills. Actively tried to throw the game away 3 times. He fumbled the ball 3 times. One of my favorite Josh Allen stats, he has fumbled 12 times in the playoffs in 13 games. You don't hear about it because the Bills have recovered 10 of them. So we are talking about fumble luck being the difference between Allen being a playoff choker and, he's a great all-time playoff performer, 25 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Why don't you mention the fumbles? Why don't you mention when he puts the ball on the ground and his team bails him out? And before we wrap up, I'm going to describe a sequence of events. Quarterback takes the snap. He gives the ball to a teammate, either throwing the ball to him or handing him the ball in the backfield. Teammate drops the ball on the ground. Opponent picks it up. That sequence of events happened exactly 0 times to the Buffalo Bills last season. 0. There were 0 lost fumbles by anyone other than Josh Allen. James Cook, no lost fumbles. Receiver corps, no lost fumbles. Tight ends, no lost fumbles. No kick return fumbles. No punt return fumbles. No fumbles lost by any member of the Bills besides Josh Allen. The Ravens, in one playoff game, Mark Andrews fumble in Bills territory as the Ravens are driving to take the lead. So, yeah, the Ravens have more Pro Bowlers. The Ravens have more All-Pros. Even by my metrics, they have more Pro Bowl deserving players and more guys in the All-Splash team. I watch football. And I respect Christian Benford. He's a top 10 corner in the NFL. He's a top 100 player when I release that in a couple weeks. But if you're going to bring up the highs and you're going to bring up, Zay Flowers, he's a Pro Bowl wide receiver, didn't play in the playoff game. Patrick Ricard, all-pro fullback, he counts. He's a better player than Christian Benford by my stupid logic. No, he's not, but okay, I'll follow your logic. then why don't we bring up the lack of negative plays the Bills had? Why don't we bring up the 0 lost fumbles? The Ravens had a game against the Steelers. Mac will remember this. 2 different Ravens not named Lamar fumbled. Lamar handed the ball off to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry fumbles at midfield, and he throws the ball to Isaiah Likely right before the half. He fumbles inside the Ravens' 20-yard line. Pittsburgh scores a touchdown immediately. Why don't we talk about the downsides? Justin Tucker had a worse year than Tyler Bass, but Lamar gets all this help. Yeah, his help is dropping 2-point conversions in the biggest game of the year, dropping 2-point conversions after fumbling the drive before, folks, and dropping passes. Yeah, again, Josh Allen might not play with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins like Cincinnati, like Joe Burrow does. But he does play with one heck of an offensive line that we don't talk about because it's all Josh Allen glaze. You don't talk about Deion Dawkins, who is darn good. You don't talk about Spencer Brown, who is darn good. You don't talk about Alec Anderson and the Bills' patented 6 offensive lineman packages. You don't talk about that because all your focus is on the fullback that wears number 17. Can you guys tell I need a football podcast?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Wouldn't be the worst idea.
Get ready for Splash and Jack here to come in next week here as part of the LAR network. Here, yes. Splash and Jack will be talking football.
I actually, unironically, that'd be pretty cool.
You have just the Losers Network.
Yeah, well, that is probably patented by the IT team.
Yeah, probably.
So, anyways, that'll do us for episode something in the hundreds. I can't count. I'm sorry. And yeah, if you're following us on YouTube, check us out on the Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, check us out on YouTube at LAR_baseball, LAR, our losses above replacement. You can follow us on Twitter at LAR_baseball. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us. We're not on TikTok or Facebook, unfortunately. Sorry. You can follow me at Mr. Splash May 19. You can follow Mac at Mathias_A_K. Follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242. And for all of us at Losses Above Replacement. See y'all next week.
See you.